I don't remember wanted to become anything else than artist. Art is a very good mean to develop yourself as a person, and it has relation to everything in life. So I was always thinking of different perceptions towards painting. And of course, the X-ray is a very inconvenient surface to paint on because it's not very inviting for a painter, but it has qualities that I was looking for in my mind. It's funny, everybody knows the shape of the X-ray. This is the side where they put the eggs in, but this is not the side that I use. You have the points that are in front and they're vertical. You have the different sides going from 8 different sides to 4 different sides. On this side it's more clear. This is more fluid. It combines with all kind of paint. So starting from painting on single egg trays, I have developed my technique by placing different layers of egg trays together, which makes it more interesting and more deep, which creates the experience for the viewer even more deep and more profound than just painting on a single egg tray. This is because by moving around the egg tray while making them that I got the idea of the moving and the experienced viewer. Most people are used to seeing only flat images on flat screens behind the computer. So if you want to make a painting, if you want to be artist, and you have to think, what can I do? Here I want to confront the viewer and set him free to make his own ideas, working on different layers. One has to move around the art object and to see everything, because you can never see all the aspects of my work in one image. You have to move and you have to create your own ideas about my work in your mind. It's in your mind that the complete image will grow and be a memory. Memory plays a big role in my work and will be a complete work of art. Before I start working on them, they have to be prepared for painting. I use acrylic glue. I do that with a big brush, by hand. And I have to be careful that when it's in the holes, there's no excess of this. And when it's hard, I can do the backside, because also the backside needs to be done. I have to find some points in the egg tray. So if you see the back of the egg tray, it has these segments that are also visible on the front side. I'm very picky on the details, and I can start to cut it out. Then we have to check where the thick parts are. This is quite a concentrated job. The different sides of the form are in my head. I have to make this form to be steady. I make this of river clay from the Maas River in Holland, which is very fine clay. And I combine it with pulp paper. That's the stuff that the egg trays are made of. Fill up the back parts. Now I can work on the shape to make it more exact and more even. I cut off the parts that I can see are wrong. So already now the front side is the most important side. All my work takes busloads of time. I will combine the 3 parts that are made now to one part by drilling them together. Glue on the top parts. At the moment I'm making the color, with in mind the next color that I'm going to put over it. Painter, I'm like two-handed. Very nice to train yourself to be not just right-handed or left-handed, but you can do different things with different hands. Step back and let it dry, study it. So this stage, it takes quite a lot of time. I have to move around also, making a lot of kilometers in my studio. You always have to wait for the right moment to paint, to grab the moment that your mind is up to doing the things. In the first place, I started to do the portrait paintings with the eyes. They were on these 2 points. And then, if you turn around, you can see the eyes following you. Villars is a small village in the north of the Luberon in the Provence. Here you see the road that leads to the village, and I strolled there a lot of times because I have very good friends who have a farmhouse which is about here. I knew it wouldn't be easy to make these deep perspectives on the hillsides in it. And you see we have the hill which is here, which leads to the village, which goes down there. And those hills are behind it again. It's all layers and layers and layers of landscape, like in stage. Every layer is cut out first and then glued on the former egg tray. Then I had to paint it because there's a lot of pieces which are in this painting which you cannot reach anymore, but you can see them. So I had to think what pieces would be visible in the end. These large pieces, they hold the work together. It's not like mathematics or physics. To see an artwork, you have to be open. Your head has to be empty. For me, the physical experience of seeing an artwork is very important. I'm always curious, if you look at something, what would be on the other side of it? That's what I can play with in my work. My work celebration. With this, I try to convey. I always try to get into real life contact with the observer. It's a kind of family. It's not really outspoken what kind of celebration it is. One could say that the most important people are the man and the woman at the top. They obviously have some love connection because when you look at it from the sides, their lips are touching. When you look at it from the front, you can see there's a space between them. The interesting thing in this artwork is that the perspective is shifting, but you can never say where it's shifting because it's not shifting at one particular point. And while looking at it, I want to make the viewer get involved in what he's seeing. And when you're getting involved, you're coming loose from your feet, from the ground, and it's like you're floating in the air. the period that I started working on egg trays, I was just married and we had my own 2 daughters. And my ideas grew with them growing up. A theme of education was in my personal life and also my own memories. They had to be integrated in my work because I always like to integrate things that are important for me. Yeah, there is something about sculpture in my Eggcubism work, but it's not sculpture. It always remains to be painting, and that's why I call it 2.5 dimensional. I never paint on the back side of the egg tray, the taboo side of the egg tray.